I really love the organic nature of this work, that what we're doing is creative. It's creative labor. It is labor and it is creative. We are exercising our creativity. We are inviting others to join us to exercise their creativity. And when I think about it that way, when I think that we do have the capacity, we know how to make new things. We make them all the time. We take raw material, thread, yarn, fabric, and transform it into something it has not been before.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the newest episode of Creatives on Camera. If you're an entrepreneur teaching, designing patterns, or running a shop and feeling like video is just too complicated or time-consuming, you're in the right place. This podcast is your guide to creating video content that connects authentically with your audience, builds your business, and expands your reach without the stress of a huge production or expensive equipment. We make it simple, effective, doable. I'm Lyric Montgomery Kinard, an artist, educator, and host of the show. Join me as we explore practical tips and strategies to help you confidently share your creativity online. Let's get started. Hello, my friends. If you've ever thought you had to have complete workshops and full courses in order to start your teaching business, today's episode is going to feel like a breath of relief, a long exhale. We are back for episode number 2 with Lisa Woolfork, who is the founder of Black Women Stitch. She has a podcast, and we are going to talk about a different kind of business structure, about using Patreon to support your creative endeavors with more freedom, with more support before you ever build a thing. I'm Lyric Montgomery Kinard, coming to you for Creatives on Camera, coming from the Academy for Virtual Teaching, where we help creative makers like you use video and online software to deliver your creativity to your students and your people worldwide. Let's get started. We are back today with Lisa Woolfork, and I am so happy that we get chance number 2 to really dig into some of your business and the more of the how and the what that's going on with you. Lisa, say hello again.
Hello again. Hi, this is Lisa from Black Women Stitch and the Stitch Please podcast, and I am so happy to be here again, Lyric. Thank you so much. The only thing that you can beat talking to Lyric once is talking to Lyric twice. So
likewise,
this is a real treat. So thank you.
Yeah, we're both just fangirling here.
Mutual Admiration Society.
It absolutely is. So last time we talked a lot about your journey into where you are now with Black Women Stitch, with your podcast, with your Patreon, with the community that you've built, and why and how you got to this place. So friends, if you haven't listened to that episode, please go back and listen to it. It's really important. It's informative, and it will touch your soul. Today, we're going to move into more of, a lot of what we usually do. We love the getting behind the scenes and how the sausage is made and just the nitty gritty of how businesses work. So I can't wait to dive into that with you, because you, Lisa, you don't have like big workshops on an online course platform. Your business model is different. And I think we can all really, really learn from that. And also, I'm talking a lot right now, but let's just forecast where we're going, which means you have to remember.
Okay, I got you.
I won't remember where we're going. Also, Lisa, you are more in the high tech end. Usually the people who come to us, I bring them into the very lowest, easiest entry level.
Yes.
For getting in front of your people and sharing your creativity with people online. Well, you've been there and you've grown from there.
Yes.
So I want to give people a view of where you can go if and when you feel like that's where you want to go. So let's start with the basic structure. Give us the outline structure of your business. And it's not your typical business.
Yes. I see this as more of a social entrepreneurship project. That's how some folks, I think, might see it, because we are very much mission driven. We're more of an arts, cultural project. I think if I were to put this in a business frame, not so much about retail or sales as much as it is about curating experiences, gathering and archiving history, and creating an environment where we can see Black creativity flourish and celebrate. So because of the mission, it helped me to create a structure that felt very organic to that particular work. So as my priorities grew or expanded, I'm not going to say that they changed. Like, the basic priority has always been to center and celebrate Black women, girls, and femmes in sewing. That has been the basic priority. But as we are expanding to more needle arts, so sewing is also quilting, but also needle and thread is something that, knitters and tatters and embroidery, like so many other different disciplines within the needle arts. It gave me the opportunity to think about what kind of resources did I want to provide, and what method and mode of messaging could help disseminate the energy behind the project. And so as I started to think about different blocks, the main content block being the podcast. And the podcast being a really great engine in a lot of ways behind what Black Women Stitch is doing. The show has been going for 5 years. Almost 6 years now, actually. We started in 2019, and here we are in this year, 2025. So that's 6 years, actually. And it was and remains a very much grassroots effort. It remains independently operated and funded. There are no large sponsors behind the project. This is not a project that's being done for someone else. It is very much community driven, and I do what I can to always look outward to see who's doing what. How do we find this is a really exciting project. Let's make sure that we get this in the schedule this quarter. So it's a combination of a media project and all of the things that go with podcasting as a media, as well as a cultural/social project to put together and to create a huge archive of creativity that people can go back and look at interviews, go back and look at some of the solo episodes, as well as learn some of the basics about sewing. So it provides a lot of information. And the model that I've been trying to use is a nonprofit model. And that has helped me build partnerships with local community organizations here in my community. And they have been the ones to kind of help me drive the business side forward.
Right. And this is a perfect case study of knowing deeply why you are doing this, knowing your core values, understanding your big why that you do the whole thing, and how that drives the actual structure that you build around how you serve your community. You know your people, you know what you want to provide and how you can serve them, and then the structure that is built up to deliver.
Yes.
The vehicle y'all hop in and turn on the gas and go with is dictated by being in alignment with your reasoning and your purpose.
Yes.
So you have the podcast, and now you are building, or already have built, community on Patreon, which not a lot of online creatives, well, actually, there are a lot of online creatives, but when you're just getting into this and thinking, I want to serve, I'm an artist, I'm a crafter, and I want to reach people online, Patreon isn't always the first thing you think of as community. And a lot of us really don't know how it works. So would you describe that business structure, that that software platform, what it
Yes,
is,
absolutely.
what it does, and how do you use it?
So Patreon is a platform that connects, I think it's designed to connect artists or creators with their community. That Patreon as a revenue generating system for artists that allows people to individually support creators. I think the name Patreon goes back to the old school, very old 13th century, 14th century patrons of the arts, where you had very wealthy people who would provide financial support to artists. Either they would have a family artist that they worked with and painted their whole family, or they provided, one-offs for, here's a portrait, we'll pay for this, or we'll pay for the art, or, whatever, just to kind of help get them started. And I think Patreon is designed to be a modern version of that. There are lots of different creators on the Patreon platform. There's artists, illustrators, comics, doctors, therapists, anyone who is creating anything for the benefit of a community or the benefit of just to create art because you love it. People who want to get in touch with you can find you through Patreon, and it gives this opportunity for revenue and compensation from the people who value and appreciate what you are doing. So it really is about relationship, and it's about whatever assets or resources you want to share in community. So,
right. So often a teacher per se,
yes,
or a shop will have a product, and you create the product and then you find a way to deliver that to people. And Patreon kind of flips the model.
Exactly.
It's like, bring the people to me,
yes,
help you, let the patrons help the artist with financial support. You can subscribe at different
yes,
levels on Patreon. And then the artist chooses, often, it's the artist in control.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they're free to create what they will because they have people that believe in them before they even start.
Yes, absolutely. And that type of energetic reinforcement makes it a really beautiful platform from which to launch, because you feel as though the people that are in your Patreon are those who are truly committed and believe in what you're doing. They make for a really wonderful test audience or community. If you want to try something out, like, hey, what do you think? Do you think this one or this one? Oh, I like this one. Well, what about, okay, so I'm working on something. What do you think about this particular thing? And people can offer feedback. I like the Patreon platform because it does give people an opportunity to directly and on a recurring level support creators. We have had a Patreon for maybe about 3 or 4 years, and it was just there kind of sitting in the background. And now I've started to really step forward with it. One of the things for the podcast, it is an audio show first. It is an audio podcast. However, whenever I have a video interview, like what we're doing right now, those video interviews go to the Patreon. So there is a huge archive in the Black Women Stitch Patreon of a lot of video episodes and conversations that are only audio available on the podcast, but the Patreon peeps, they get additional benefit. They get, they can also like very easily contact me and send a message, and, I respond to those really quickly. There's also a new element that Patreon is working on They are really trying to bring more free users to the platform. And at first I thought, oh, well, why do you want all the free users? But that is another way to just get people who might not be in your audience to discover you. So they've been doing this different discoverability elements. And so they have a new one now called Quips, where you can record a very short little flash audio, video message to the entire Patreon landscape. And there's folks who have found me that way. I posted a little video of me going on a covered wooden bridge, which I had never been on before. I'd never seen one in real life to drive on. I've just seen
I don't
those.
think I have either.
I've just seen them on postcards.
Just in storybooks, right?
Yeah, storybooks and postcards. So I made a little video and I was like, oh, isn't this amazing? And people were like, I didn't even think that was that special. We have those everywhere around here. So just making these little kind of connections can be an easy way that I think in some ways community is meant to be. And I think the work that as I try to do it, and I don't always succeed, but I want it to have some ease. And I don't mean it should be easy as in frictionless, I mean,
no, there's always work involved, but you need to be supported as you work so that you're not being drained. Your business should feed you, not completely drain you.
Exactly. And like they say, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. It is that type of, that you're not being exploited. You're not being overworked. You're not, right. Now I think that for myself, I can definitely say I am a very bad boss to myself. I will work myself to exhaustion regularly. That is not, I am not proud of it. I do not consider that a flex. I consider that something to absolutely work on and repair.
Absolutely. My business coach just told me that for 2026, you are putting boundaries around your business.
Oh.
Your business is not you. You do not work on it 18 hours a day.
Wow. Because what do you mean you don't work on it 18 hours a day? What do you, what?
Wait, what?
Yeah. So I'm always working at all times. I mean, you know what? I was planning, my family were going to get together and go to this steakhouse in Brooklyn. And we were planning to go to this. And I was like, oh, wait, a steakhouse in Brooklyn. Who else in Brooklyn might I know so I could set up some interviews while I'm there? And
with your family, Lisa, stop. But yes, I do the exact same thing.
That is not okay. That is not, I'm going to be there. Let me see what other kind of work I might add. I could go to some places and do some videos. Should I bring both microphones or just one?
No. Yes, I understand this completely because same, but it's not healthy. That's why Patreon can provide you some of that. You have supporters here on a regular basis, so you don't have to hustle 24/7.
Exactly.
So your business can support you and lift you as you lift your community.
Exactly.
That balance is hard to find, but it's something we should actively seek.
Absolutely. And it is a practice. And, I often have to stop myself and just pause and say, okay, this is not an emergency. This is not urgent. Everything will not fall apart if this one single thing doesn't go the way you think it should. And that there's a lot of power in releasing, so I love the boundaries that you're going to be working on for 2026 for sure. And I
we'll
think,
see if they work.
Well,
it's going to work. I'm going to make it work.
It's going to work because you're going to work it. It's going to work. It's just a matter of deciding and trusting. I think when you have worry, you can fill it with work. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the outcome will be any different or any better had you just left it alone and see what happens,
Yeah, coming down to often there's 10% of the time we spend and the work we do in our business is what actually brings in the vast majority of our return, whether that's in community connection or income or all of that things. And it's really hard sometimes to figure out what that valuable 10% is. And it's even harder to give up so much of the other stuff. We're like, well, it would be better if I did this, or I could add this one more thing.
Yes.
If I did this one more thing.
Yes.
Is it
yes
necessary?
Is it necessary? And what is it going to give you? Like if you have,
or what is it going to cost?
Exactly.
you?
Exactly. Like, what are you? I think that if we prioritize, I really love the organic nature that you describe about the nature of this work, that what we're doing is creative. It's creative labor. It is labor and it is creative. We are exercising our creativity. We are inviting others to join us to exercise their creativity. And when I think about it that way, when I think that we do have the capacity, we know how to make new things. We make them all the time. We take raw material, thread, yarn, fabric, and transform it into something it has not been before.
And it's beautiful, and it adds something joyous and good into this world.
Yes. And if we can take some of that same creative energy and turn it inward to our own businesses, our own practices, our own creative enterprises, I think that we will feel more whole, and the businesses that we're working on themselves will be more strong.
I think they will. Lisa, let's go. If somebody had never heard of Patreon before,
Okay.
why don't you walk them through what will they see when they come to Black Women Stitch's Patreon? And are there levels? Do you subscriptions?
Absolutely.
I mean, just tell us exactly. Take us on a journey through your business.
Through the Black Women Stitch Patreon. Fantastic. The Black Women Stitch Patreon is a wonderful mix of the episodes that we've done, different projects that I might be involved in, and what we examine are, we start with, you can start with actually the library. If you start with the library, it's going to give you so many different things that we have coming up and things that we've done.
And they have to subscribe to have access to these things.
So I'm trying to think about the tiers right now to make sure. So there is people can join for free, and you can just, watch, and there's certain things that happen with the free memberships. I often, like if I do a live video, that's something that everyone can kind of see, for example, but they get saved for the Patreon people to go back and look later. So we're working with 3 tiers right now, or 4 tiers. We've got Thread, which is the basic level tier. And if you do that one, you get videos of the podcast episodes, you get swatch cards. There is that means that's how you get like all of the different video assets for the podcast. So if you're interested in episode that I've done and you have that basic tier, you are absolutely going to get all of those episodes that happen to be there. Then as we start to advance, there's more things. Starting in 2026, we're going to be having more meetups, like a once a month kind of stitch up type thing. We also have some of the higher tiers that include office hours, telephone hours, messaging, so like people can send a direct text message, video calls, like all of these things that I'm trying to kind of offer in a way that gives people access to the resources that Black Women Stitch has out there in the world and in the Patreon, and then the ability to kind of contact me to ask questions or concerns or something like that. That tier was designed for showing a video and saying, hey, I'm working on this. Can you give me some advice? And I could look at that and give comments back. And so that's another element. And the way that Patreon, because of the tier structure, you set that. You can decide what your tiers are. Do you have 4? Do you have 5? What different assets do you want to kind of build up over, as people are joining in the community? You can decide. I think I kind of message people maybe 3 or 4 times a month, like, here's something that's happening, or here's a place that I went, or here's the pictures from this exhibit, just as a way to kind of, it's very much
touch points to keep
touch points. Yes. Touch points to keep people connected, and for folks to kind of know what's going on. And for me too, it's fun for me to be able to say, hey, I went to this place and, oh, you should try it. Or what do you think? Should I use this one or this one? Which one should I do? That type of thing. And I also know, as someone who supports a lot of other Patreon creators as well, I'm also on the community side as somebody who also, is a patron of other creators. So I get to see what other people are doing. And it's really nice to get like email inbox notices. Oh, they're having this, or they're doing that, or this is an opportunity to check in or to touch in. So Patreon has been actually really wonderful for that. And in fact, I think Patreon has been the most reliable and consistent revenue stream that we have had. So we have the Patreon as a foundation, and we'll do other fundraising drives. We apply for grants all the time. So we do get those other funding, and we're also looking at sponsorships and ad sales and those kinds of things. And so those are all an element in the kind of funding ecosystem that we are establishing for the organization. But the Patreon has been the most consistent. It's been there since the very earliest days of the podcast, and it has grown over the years. And yeah.
So it has mechanisms built into the platform for you to communicate with your people, to have tiered levels of access to different parts of whatever space you build in there.
That's right.
Libraries,
Yep.
Which I'm assuming you could add in something that looks like a workshop.
Yes, absolutely. So they also have newer features that they're updating. In addition to like the quips, they also have made it easier to do live videos directly from the platform. So you can go directly into Patreon, press a button that says live, and they will send a note to all your free and paid subscribers that you are live. And nice. So that's, and you can also upload videos directly to the Patreon platform. So rather than uploading them into YouTube and then sharing the link, which is what I've done as well, you can also have them be directly in the platform.
So they can host the data.
So they host the data for you. And what I like about it is the fact that it's in the platform. It keeps it within the platform. I think sometimes if you have like a YouTube link and people are sharing that out beyond the platform, you can't really do that with this because it only lives.
It's a stronger gatekeeping for access.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And there are advantages to that. And also sometimes this is a complete aside.
Yes.
But I guess it would depend on what analytics and everything they have for the videos.
Right.
So one of the experts I've been talking to is saying, it's not a bad idea to post your stuff to YouTube and have it unlisted and then just embed it in your course platform if your course platform doesn't have the deep analytics. Because on YouTube, you can look behind there and see exactly how many people watch,
and for
where
how
they
long,
dropped off, and all that stuff. But if you don't need that,
right? And
I mean, on Patreon, you've got people already paying.
Yes. And it's interesting because if I'm doing something on Patreon, I feel much more free to talk about like the brands, the exact pattern, the information, because I feel like I'm not like accidentally endorsing someone. You know what I mean? And so
it's a closed ecosystem.
Yes. And so it feels like, everyone there is paying for this information. So it feels more like, sure, I'll say, okay, this is the pattern number I used. This is the exact place I got the fabric from. Because again, unless I'm working with a brand, why would I give them free advertising? You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right. Right.
So I'm trying to be a bit better about that.
Excellent. Let's talk about teaching online. Maybe you've thought about it, but it feels overwhelming. You're worried about being on camera, not having the right tech, or figuring out how to translate hands-on workshops to a virtual setting. I've been there, but here's the truth. You don't need to be a tech genius or have a big audience to make online teaching work. That's why I'm inviting you to my free Virtual Teaching 101 webinar. I'll show you how to take what you're already doing and turn it into online classes that reach students globally, all with minimal equipment and simple steps. When I made the switch, my income per teaching hour jumped by 7 times compared to in-person workshops. And I'll show you exactly how it can work for you too. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Sign up now at academyforvirtualteaching.com and let's get you started on this incredible journey. I'll see you there. Let's go into where you started. Let's get kind of granular down into tech stuff. Yes, let's show us tell us how and where you started.
I started with my phone, like many people do. And I think these phones can do, every year they do more and more. The cameras get better and better.
They're perfectly adequate.
Very much adequate. And, some of the phones cost as much as a camera, if you're buying So I started with my phone and I would get the best phone that I could afford, one that had a lot of storage, one that had a good camera. And I learned that from other creators who were also using their phones. Like, this is one of the ways that creativity or this type of video teaching that you're offering can become more democratized, that you don't have to have a reflecting glass camera, whatever, the fancy types
None of the professional tele equipment is necessary. This is so accessible to anybody with a phone in their pocket.
And it's which is funny because that's true of podcasting as well. Podcasting is also very accessible, easy to kind of get started with. And I started with my phone for my podcast. I started with Zoom. That was how I was doing the recordings. I started with Zoom, and then I switched to different platforms, and I got an audio interface, which is what you use to kind of connect your microphone and sound to the computer. So I started very low tech there, and I'm pretty much still using some of the same low tech things for my podcast, or low tech. And it sounds great. And it's good quality. The sound is good. So that's just one step in terms of the tech journey for the audio. And for the video, it was very much the phone. For years, I did a weekly live on Instagram that I live streamed just from my phone. It was like every Thursday at 3:00, and I would do like a studio tour, or I would do a different component of how to get the pattern back in the envelope, or just asking, answering all of these different questions. And from there, it just kept growing and growing. And it wasn't until very recently. So I started to add additional cameras to what I was doing. So I got a GoPro because I thought that would be good for close-ups and stuff. And I don't really use the GoPro as much, but I do have it. And so I started to do multi-camera angles when I've been recording videos, like which you can see if you sign up for the Patreon. And I got a great campaign to tell you about in a second. But I went from the phone to the GoPro. And that's a big learning curve. I think when you're so used to using your phone, you don't think about having an SD card to get all of the footage in a camera. Like,
there's a lot of in-betweens. You either have to have all kinds of equipment adapters to send it straight to your desktop, or you have to record, and then there are extra steps in between. That SD card. We were talking earlier about how I have a fancy camera that I took on a whole trip just for this and didn't bring SD cards.
I just bought an SD card case because I couldn't figure out where to put the little things.
And they're so tiny.
They are so
miraculous
tiny.
technology.
They are miraculous. They are exactly miraculous. They are
but
so
also
small.
That means you forget to bring them.
Or like you put it down somewhere and it's like, well, I'm never going to see this again. So that's why I bought a case, a little tiny case, just to pop them in. And and I also got an adapter that I could use. And let's see if I can grab it real quick. Hold on. Because, and the reason I mention this because I just wanted to show folks that it's doable. It's absolutely doable. No one is being asked to reinvent the wheel, to get a whole new education and a whole new degree in videography. Like, that is not necessary. You just need a few little tools. I'm gonna go grab this. It's right here.
Excellent.
So this little guy, because I use a MacBook. That's what I use for my work and computer and everything.
Lisa is holding up an adapter cable. So it's got lightning on one end, and then on the other side, I have one of those that has all different kind of card readers, USB and HDMI, and
yes, this one has
SD card and micro SD card.
So this is the micro SD card, and I'm holding it, y'all. It's about the size of a thumbnail.
Tiny.
Like if you, this is my thumbnail is bigger than this card. And I put it in this little slot, and then I have my external drive, which is a terabyte of a drive. And I just put them next to each other. And what was helpful in having this was I could transfer the footage from the camera right into the hard drive. And bypass my computer's hard drive because it gets so full. You know, these are part of the learning curve, as you were saying. So I went from a phone to a camera, but as I was using my phone, I was using all of the camera gear. So by that, I mean, I was using boom arms, which I installed on my cutting table. At each corner, there is a C-clamp.
Yeah, something to hold your phone, an arm that you can adjust and have.
Yes.
It holds your phone and have an overhead camera.
And it's the same one that's on this microphone. I'm showing my microphone a little bit more deeply, and I'm pointing to this arm. And I've got about 4 of these, and I've got
all over the place.
All over the place. And the top of them can, I
was just looking at mine.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
The same thing.
Exactly. And I put my
This is just for my microphone, though, this big honking thing.
This one, I've got 2 48. I got a 48 inch. I've got a 24. And then I also have, there's a company you all might want to look into. It's called Small Rig. And they've got all manner of photo accessories, which can be adapted for your phone. So
I'm writing it down.
So Small Rig is really great. I think they're known as a camera accessory company, but they also, the adapting, the little heads. So this is a battery for the camera that I've been using lately. And you see that little circle hole.
It's a 1/4-inch thread.
Exactly.
Regular camera mount.
It's universal. It's like a universal thing. So this attaches to my boom arm, but I also have one for the phone. So even before I got the camera, I was doing overhead shots with my phone. I was doing close-ups where I would have the phone really close to the sewing machine needle to show how to do this particular technique. And we can keep that going with the cameras.
If you're listening today and you have some of these, the tech still overwhelms me feelings, I invite you to join us at the Academy for Virtual Teaching, especially in our video making crash course, where we make the tech as easy and as applicable as possible to whatever it is that you want to deliver to your audience through a screen. You can find us at academyforvirtualteaching.com.
So even if you just start with your phone,
Yes.
everybody is going to need one piece of equipment, which is something to hold the phone.
Yes.
And that piece of equipment depends on what it is that you're specifically showing. And the boom arms are ultimately adjustable. You can, if it's big enough, it can go from the side of your table up and over your shoulder and get down under the harp of the sewing machine,
Yes.
so you can see. Yeah, this is our jam over at the Academy.
It's so much fun. It's
all
so
the
much
fun
fun.
techie equipment.
And like if you get also like, subscribing to newsletters like B&H Photo and other
They're
places,
fantastic.
they'll have sales, they'll have bonuses. They often have tutorials and demonstrations for how to use some of the things.
Right.
So,
If you're in the United States, B&H Photo is one of the best techie camera photo equipment kind of places. I mean, and you can find all the same stuff on Amazon, my friends, but
Yes.
they're a family-owned business. They are fantastic people. And, it's rarely more expensive than on Amazon. So,
and I've been to the shop
here we
in
go.
New York.
Let's just go. Go small if you can.
They have a couple of brick and mortar shops in New York City, and I've been to one of those. And when I tell you, they have a chute system that runs in the ceiling of the store. So no, for real. So
they can deliver stuff, right?
Yes. So like
I'm laughing because this is a complete squirrel. If you ever go to St. Louis, Missouri, go to the City Museum, which used to be a 10-story shoe factory. And they have circular chutes that go from the top where they used to deliver shoes, but now there's slides. Like you could go down a 10-story curly slide for people. Yes, they've converted the entire 10-story building into the most phenomenal, fun music. Don't take your kids.
Don't take your kids.
It's crawling with kids, but you'll lose them.
Yes, I definitely.
Because the whole place, like, it has holes in the floor that you can go downstairs.
Oh my gosh.
And they'll just. But oh my gosh, we had so much fun. And I went down a 10-story curly slide and then I couldn't stand up. Squirrel. Okay, let's get
so
back
terrifying.
on track.
That sounds incredibly scary to me. 10-story curly slide. No, thank you.
Well, most of the time you go really slow. You're not supposed to pick up your feet. And you kind of have to scoot yourself down. But I didn't follow the rules.
I mean, I would just want to get down as quickly and on my butt as possible. That is
the whole thing's created by an artist.
Oh,
so it's a phenomenal.
It's an
experience
immersive
for
experience.
all of you creative people. Yes, go back to B&H Photo.
B&H Photo.
Sorry about that.
I say that just because you'll get information and notifications for different sales and things like that. And it's a nice way to stay kind of current on, they just came out with a new one of these, or here's a different version, or the one that
And if you get to the store, they won't send you down the slide.
No,
but they will shoot.
Yeah, the chutes
they will
go
send
to the
equipment down the
cashiers.
chute.
So you order something. So you're talking to someone in a department. You say, I want so-and-so. And they say, okay. And then they signal somebody. And then it goes through the chute system. And you go to the register and there's your thing. It was very fun to watch. But no, I really feel as though my transition from an iPhone, which is what I've been using, to a camera has been this is the little tiny camera I was mentioning. It's called an Osmo Pocket 3. It has a gimbal, which does a lot of stabilizing shots. I have not gotten to the full potential of all this camera can do. It can do way more than I believe I am using it for, but I can put it on that with that 1/4-inch thread and just click it right onto the boom arm here. I take it to different places in the sewing space because I have the boom arm clamps set up all around the space. And because the arms are long, it gives me a chance to have different segments in the same space. I think that you talked about that when your own studio tour, like you have the couch here and that gives you one framework. For those of you all who are watching this, I have this particular shot with my threads,
the sewing wall on the back.
But then there's another shot that I have with the fabric wall and the notions wall behind me. So like that, it makes it easy to set up these shots and to do a really quick video. So the other day I was finishing up a video and I had done some demonstration and I was like, oh, I'm hungry. So I put the camera back on the mount, where it was supposed to go. And I went and had dinner and watched a little TV. And then I came back and put my lipstick back on and just shot the last little part, and then that was done.
Right. Let's define a couple things. A gimbal is a mount that you put your camera on, but it stabilizes them. So the camera almost feels like it's floating. You can have a handheld like a stick, and the gimbal is on the end of it, and you can be moving, but the camera stays stable.
Yes.
So especially, I wonder, that would be awesome for long armors who are trying to film something that's rattling and moving, and a gimbal would hold it still.
Absolutely.
Often, like I have one that you can put that's a tripod, and it's so fancy that it's also, I have no idea what I'm doing with it, but you can set it on the tripod over there, and I've got a phone mount on it, and I can be moving all over the place, and it will track me the whole time.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And it's really good because I've learned that some folks, and I'm not sure if it's a long COVID consequence, but some folks can't watch handheld cam or shaky cam.
Right. It just gives you motion sickness.
Yeah. And so I know some folks, actually, I learned this from my Patreon folks. They were like, oh, Lisa, when you do a video where you're like walking or whatever, and I'm just having my phone and I'm walking and talking, to put a shaky cam warning or a note somewhere in the title or description so people know, like, okay, this is a shaky video, so I think I'm not going to watch this. I'll just listen,
It's a lovely accessibility addition that we could all learn from and that we could all add to our things. But a gimbal straightens it out. Also, there are video editing. I use CapCut, and they have one-click stabilization, and it just blows my mind. It just blows my mind how it gets rid of that shake. So there are always multiple opportunities to make it go.
Yes, that's right. So like for me, I feel like I've made this transition, and I'm at the early stages of it, but I've made the transition from phone to camera, and it feels pretty good. I learned about some of the color fixing. I did a lot of work with lighting even before. Again, this was me transferring some of the skills that I had practiced when I was recording with my phone onto the camera. So I thought about, lighting, and do I look washed out, and matching the color from one, if I have a video that I've done with my phone, how is it going to match with the video that I've done with the camera? So you have to learn about different color correcting things, which I don't know how to do in an editor yet. So I do what I can to, as we say, fix it in pre. I definitely want to get it right the first time in order for it to kind of make more sense and be less labor down the line.
And this all sounds so complicated and so high tech and everything, but my friends, it's really not, because you learn one thing at a time.
Yes.
Like you got the phone, you have the gimbal, and you said, I have no idea how to use all the things, because you don't need all the things.
Exactly.
So use what you've got until you're ready to move one step up, or until what you've got absolutely doesn't work. And then look around, and you don't have to go from your phone to the highest grade things. Right?
Not at all.
The camera that you use is the size of a GoPro. It's tiny,
It's
right?
a very small. This is very
The
small.
Osmo, I think.
This is a small camera.
It's a couple inches,
It's
1.5 by 2 inches at the most.
Yeah. So like
for the camera part, and then
yes. So this
the
is about
stick is the most of it.
the stick is the most of it. So this is about 1.5 inches across, and it has a full video camera on the back. So like as a way to monitor. So like when I flip this over, it'll turn on, and then the camera will turn on, and then you can see. We're watching a very weird effect of me doing a.
Y'all have to go over and watch this on YouTube
this video.
if you're listening to it, because this is cute. This is fun.
But like I got it because I can use it just like I would use my phone.
Right.
I can throw it in my bag. I can. It has a little carrying case. I can bring it with me just like I have my phone. And this also does still pictures in addition to video.
Right.
And if you shoot your video at a high enough resolution, you can pull still images from that. So it's been really easy to use. I've really enjoyed it. I'm going to just tell you, I turn it off now. Just do this and it'll shut itself down.
Flicked it from horizontal to vertical, and it just went click.
And it goes right off. And you can this can be horizontal as well as vertical. You can press the button and it'll do selfies and it'll stabilize your face. It's very much like the phone. But the reason I got it was because it wasn't the phone. I have had a phone, and the one I have right now, I know that has 50,000 images on it. My phone has 50,000 images.
All right, friends. Lisa, you have that external hard drive. Part of the workflow that
I know
that I encourage, immediately go in and move the stuff off your phone onto your hard drive. Well, onto your hard drive in named files so you can access them, right?
And find them later easily. Yes.
How much time do you and me too.
Exactly.
Both ways trying to find, I know that. I know I took that one thing.
I know these are great suggestions. I just learned how to back up my images to Google Photos. First, I have them backed up in the cloud, but I wanted them in another place just to be sure. I think I also have them in a Dropbox. I try to put them as many places as possible. None of them are named.
Girl.
None of them are named. I think that this is
bad girl.
Listen, and I am suffering myself because, you put them in there and then you look and it's like all of these are just weird numbers. I have no idea what anything is.
It's one of the basic, start where you are right now.
It really is.
My friend, next time you pull stuff off, Lisa, you are going to check in with me and tell me that you have done this.
Accountability partners.
You are going to have a folder with the name of what you were doing, and you're going to put, even if you don't
fill it in,
clear out and rename all the photos and the video files, you're going to at least have a folder and put every word on there that next year you might use to search. Right? It can have 12 words in the folder name.
So true.
That's fine.
It's true. I agree with this, and you are absolutely right. It's starting where you are. Let's not get 50,000 more photos in there.
No, it's okay. And friends, I teach this and I don't always follow it, but
it's a good
start
practice
with the thing you're doing today.
Yes.
And just start there.
Yes.
It's okay. Going forward, it will be easier.
It will be easier. That is the truth of it. It absolutely.
This is one of those small things that
you
make
can
a big
do.
Difference later on.
That you can do.
Lisa, I have loved so much.
I love this too. Thank you.
Hearing about the Patreon structure, and we could go on with tech for ages.
We could
because
it's so much of it. And it's
are we
fun.
fellow geeks with this together? It is so much fun.
I love it. It's so much fun. I kind of feel like it's dangerous. It's as dangerous as fabric collecting.
It is.
Fabric collecting.
Try running the academy where it's now I have an excuse to buy all the tools, all the toys, so I can test them out and tell you about I have a huge pile over
You have to do it. It's like you have to do it. Even if you didn't
so
want
much
to,
fun.
you would have to do it. But
Of course.
I'm so happy to be able to be here and talk about Patreon. And I got to tell you about the 12 days of Patreon.
Please do.
This is a new initiative we're launching this year. The first 12 days of December will be the 12 days of Patreon for Black
And
Women
this
Stitch.
might be past by the time we get to this. But my friends, Patreon and Black Women Stitch will be there.
Yes.
And I want you to support them.
Yes, please do. And when you support, there will be 12 bonus gifts waiting for you. Even if you sign up for this in January or at the end of December or February, those things are still there. So the great thing about the 12 days of Patreon is that the current patrons get the benefit, even as new patrons are being invited to join in on the fun. So there's so much fun stuff that we have in there. And I absolutely am very excited to share. I did a burn test for your fabric, which I think is really important to do.
Oh, yeah.
So you can figure out what.
Done those. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's so useful to do, especially now with no Joann's and who knows where you might be getting fabrics from and, fabric labels.
For those of you who are not fabric and sewing people, you actually burn pieces of fabric and the residue tells you what the content is.
Yes.
You can tell from ash whether it's a cellulose or a protein fiber or the lumps of burnt plastic and the smell.
Yes.
Right?
And I actually
love setting things on fire.
I absolutely damaged my my cutting board because I was trying to show, I was holding up a piece of burning pure plush, some kind of like plushy, very synthetic fabric. And as I was holding it up, it started dripping.
And so the plate under it.
And it just dripped and plopped right into the board. And now I've got 3 absolute burn marks from this fabric. And so then I was like, well, I won't do it this way. And so then I changed the whole method about how I was doing the burn test. And it turned out really well. So I burned about maybe 15 different fabrics, knits, wovens.
Use an ashtray, people.
Yes.
We have one we inherited from grandfather. That
do you remember in school we used to make those? When I was a girl, I went to school in the 1970s. That was our art project, making ashtrays.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're perfect for burn tests for fabric.
They are
yarn,
great for that.
Same thing.
Yarn too.
Yarn is a fiber. You can.
And you can tell.
People, just to be legal and safe, we do not recommend setting things on fire in your home without smoke detectors.
No, you need smoke detectors. You need
outside
air.
And have fun.
You need air. It needs to be aerated. I did mine on a broiler pan. And I had it elevated on a tea light, like a candle. So I just held the fabric with a hemostat and lowered it onto the flame. So you don't want to have a lighter in your hand, which is what I did the first time. A lighter in your hand, holding the fabric like a total dummy, so that I can injure myself and others and burn up my cutting board too. Don't do that. Watch my video so you can learn to do it the right way. Right. Let my benefit from my mistakes.
Okay. Back to Patreon. We will have, as I'm tears because I'm laughing. We will have all of these links in the show notes for both episodes with Lisa. And we highly encourage you to go and check out her Patreon and Black Women Stitch. I mean, if anything, first of all, support it. But then go in and look and see how it works. See how she set it up and get the gears turning.
Ask me
questions. In your mind.
Ask me questions. Reach out. Please reach out. Ask questions. If there's anything I can do to help support other creators getting their Patreon off the ground, I'm happy to share any lessons that we've learned over time. And absolutely, there are no secrets in this industry. I really
beautiful collaboration.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Colleagues.
Yeah, and I think that
lovely.
I do love that. I do. We're not, my bright light doesn't make your light any dimmer. It just makes it all brighter.
Add to the bonfire.
Oh, yes.
I love. Yes.
Outside.
Fire theme.
Outside.
Fire. We are on fire. Let's light the world with our bonfire. It's going to be phenomenal. It already is. Your light already shines brilliantly and brightly in a world and in a community that has benefited so greatly from what you generously provide, from your soul, from your spirit, and from the way you've channeled it into your business to support your people.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity, Lyric. It's always great to talk with you. Thank you.
Likewise. Thank you, Lisa.
Oh, every time I talk with Lisa, there's this moment that stays with me after we stop recording. And today it was thinking about how your business should feed and support you, not drain you. Right? That reminder, spoken with so much clarity and with purpose in her creative endeavors, reminds me that we do all of these things for a reason. We do them to love and support our people, but also what you do feeds your soul. It is so important. If you want to experience more of Lisa's work, go to the Black Women Stitch Patreon and the Stitch Please podcast. You can find her there. We'll have everything you need in the show notes and in the description below. Until next time, friends, keep creating, keep making the beautiful things that you do, keep sharing them with the world. Everything you do makes the world a better place. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for joining me on Creatives on Camera. I know there are countless podcasts out there, and I'm honored you spent your time here. If you enjoyed this episode and don't want to miss the next one, please subscribe to the podcast. Then, if you'd like to stay connected and get even more tips on teaching, marketing, and video creation, sign up for my email list at academyforvirtualteaching.com. You'll get exclusive insights and updates delivered straight to your inbox to help you grow your creative business with ease. Lastly, be sure to check the show notes below in the episode description for links to everything mentioned today. And I'll see you in the next episode.